we're back to talk about another virtual event platform. And this week we're going a little bit bigger than we have in the past couple of weeks, and we're talking about Adobe Connect. So as an Adobe product, right out of the gate, we're talking more at an enterprise level solution. We'll get a little bit more into the nitty gritty of the pricing structure, but overall, we all, I think, unanimously enjoyed this platform for what it could potentially do for moving a larger scale meeting or event into a virtual environment. So let's kick off with kind of talking through some of the user experience just to frame out what Adobe Connect looks like and what you can expect getting into the platform. So Lauren, what did you think?
So Adobe Connect, it has a lot of different capabilities that you can bring into your meetings. So, I mean, it's an Adobe product, so you know that you can get creative with things. They have the ability to upload PowerPoints. You can present that PowerPoint and then also start annotating on the PowerPoint, and all of your viewers can see that. You're able to save those annotations. So kind of like class notes or whatever it might be, you can do that in Adobe Connect. So you can like prep your meeting room with these different pods of, whether that be here's a certain pod for one breakout group, here's another one for this breakout group. So you can facilitate those larger meetings that have different groups there. And it's like kind of like a lot of different compartments on your screen in the meeting room.
And they can differ. Like I remember him showing us that you can have layout number 1, and then you can transfer to layout number 2. So maybe you're starting the meeting with a roundtable conversation, and then you're moving into a presentation. Well, as a speaker, I want to have video focused to start the meeting. But then when I move over into the presentation, I may want all of everyone's faces to drop down or just have my face next to the presentation. And I felt like that was really module and customizable throughout the platform.
Yeah, it is a little bit clunky in terms of how it looks. Looks like it's a little outdated, but Juan, I think you had a tidbit about why that is.
Yeah, so they kind of went a little simple with the graphic design of the interface. It is designed to be a fully web-based interface, so you can run it on the browser, you can install the app, and so in the hopes of making it easier to run on the browser, they kind of like phased out like shades or like graphic designs on the interface itself that will consume your bandwidth, so you can focus on audio and video feeds or files.
And then to talk a little bit about some of the technical side of things, obviously, again, we're in a much kind of higher level. This is not a plug and play solution, in my opinion. It's more of we're going to sink some time, energy, and effort into onboarding or rolling this out for our entire company, and everyone moving forward is going to use Adobe Connect. Or we have 6 different meetings throughout the year, and we're going to use Adobe Connect for all 6 of these. So on the technical side, Juan, can you talk a little bit high level about some of the features and what we can expect?
Yeah, so it's a much more robust platform for like larger events. So same way you will on a real life event require an entire team to produce a good quality event, here you require some collaboration, right? If you're an organization who needs to be mindful of security, this integrates with all the latest like security standards. So you have AES-256 for encryption. You can do enterprise sign-on features for hosts, so only authorized people is signing up to the platform or the meeting. You can block the feed. You can host the entire platform on your own servers. So if you have any compliance or things that doesn't allow you to host on the cloud, and you have a corporate server who's able to host the entire platform, you can have a very robust event host on your own servers.
So awesome. Let's go down our ratings. So starting with ease of use, because of the level, we gave this a 5 out of 10. Do you want to talk a little bit about that, Lauren?
Yeah, so it's there are definitely a lot of things you can do to customize it. but it does require a little bit of time just because there are a bunch of moving parts that can go into these meetings.
With that said, customization, we gave a 10 out of 10 because of all of those reasons that we just were chatting about. The fact that you can incorporate this environment and create this kind of unique and customized, truly customized experience for your virtual room that you're creating, which is great. Security, we kind of talked about a little bit already, but we gave that a 9 out of 10. Anything else to add there, Juan?
No, just as always, remember security features are there. They're built in, but they only work if you turn them on. So as we talked about, there's so many options available. It's just you have to figure out what works for your use case.
Yeah, I think that's a great point to mention, especially because you're creating these static rooms. If your security preferences are set up correctly and you're allowing anyone to jump into your room with you, well, you're going to end up getting, people that you don't want on that meeting with you.
Exactly.
And with the integration side of things, we gave it a 6 out of 10. Juan, you want to talk us through just some of what we're limited on?
Yeah, so with so many options of different content being shared onto the platform, is not as easy as like some of the other platforms we have reviewed to just say we're gonna push content to YouTube or Facebook Live because there's too many elements. So integrations with that like streaming platforms are not present. As always, like Adobe has a great API, so you may be able to custom code something. There is interaction with all the Adobe like platforms, and whether it's design or streaming or content creation. If it's Adobe, you're for sure going to be able to integrate with that. So we will have like to see in a little bit more integrations with some common use third-party platforms, but it's also understandable with the level of functionality not to be able to integrate.
Definitely. Perfect. And then price is our next point. And with this, we're starting at basically $50 a month for very limited functionality. It's just kind of the virtual meetings, basically like Zoom. And then up from there, we can get as high as $350 a month per user from what I was able to find. So obviously, if we're at that $350 price point, you want to be utilizing it as much as possible. While I do think it's not recommended, you could probably get away with a few shared license, but keep in mind, if you're creating a static room and it's one license and 2 rooms happening simultaneously, you're going to hit some roadblocks probably with that as well. So obviously taking a look at the features that you really need before you're making the call and getting that price point to where you think you're going to get your best return on investment. And then overall, I think it's a great platform. So we gave it a collective 7.5 out of 10. Obviously a little limiting with some of the features that we want virtual events to do right now, and in the ability to simulcast and to stream on YouTube Live and Facebook Live and Instagram Live. But really, if we take a look at applying this to a conference, let's say, and our expectation is we're going into a conference, we're deciding on which sessions we want to go to, and we're signing up for those sessions. If you layer a Cvent platform or a Regbox platform on top of Adobe Connect, it becomes super powerful, and you can basically recreate that conference experience with the combination of the 2 platforms, but then also almost create an even more unique and customized experience for your attendees by layering in some of the static content and using different pods and making it adding polling and quizzes and questions and whatever have you. So all of those features that come standard with that kind of top level Adobe Connect experience would be able to enhance your virtual meeting almost to a level that you wouldn't be able to even get necessarily in person. So definitely way more pros than cons for Adobe Connect, I would say. Any last thoughts?
I think just keep in mind that this is a very robust. This is meant to replace your large in-person events. This is not your probably video conference everyday tool. It's more about like large events or a more like a specific use case platform.
Definitely. Awesome. Well, until next time, thanks for tuning in.